My name is Aletha,
And my name is Coach Oscar.
and this is our testimony. Okay, so before joining Life Changes, life was a lot of good and also a lot of bad. I was living in sin. I was addicted to gambling. I had a gambling addiction, and I was in church, but I was still struggling with my addiction. There was a time where, I was pleading with God to help me get out of the sin. And I joined Life Changes. My husband invited me to attend an Arise session. I attended that session and I witnessed two ladies sharing their testimonies on what God had done for them. And I think from that point onwards, I felt, I had a safe space where I could share my testimony. So I sat in church for many years, hiding the shame of my addiction, and until we joined a life group, and for the very first time in that life group, I was able to share my story with our life group leaders. And I think from that point onwards, I became a little bit more comfortable sharing my story.
I think what really happened is I joined Life Changers and I've been coming, but it was more like a struggle to get my wife in. And I knew one of my prayers then was always to have my wife come, also hear what I'm hearing. At that point in time, I used to struggle because I felt maybe she's not connecting because she doesn't know better. And like she's pointed out, she was really struggling with addiction. And at some point she felt maybe that's what life was like. I knew one time I speak and she would say, getting someone out of addiction is not like coaching someone out. This is like maybe how their life was wired. Until what I did was every time there's an Arise Women conference, I just signed her up. I don't even tell her sometimes because just saying it, I knew she was not going to come. So somehow she just get an SMS. Remember when you sign up, you get notification. It's like, And one of those evenings she went, and she got back home. She was crying. Like, I saw her wept like she's never wept before. And I was like, did anything happen? What is it? She couldn't really talk for like 30 to an hour. So I let her be. And then later in the night, she now said, I can't believe that anyone could put out their story out there to the public, sharing what the Lord did in their lives. And I'm like, that's what salvation does. She was like, I'm still trying to figure how. We have a community that really supported us. Right there, I remember the life group we belong to, and the man there was just like, no, I don't know better, so we are all learning. He encouraged her to keep taking that baby step. And from time to time until one day, she opened up and said, this is what I've been struggling with the past years. And I can only say thank to God that again she found Christ, and today we're much more better. After we've seen this change happen, for me the excitement is that we can now grow or do life together. We can pray together. She responds to spiritual things. And I think I would say that's been the prayer point. So I could just see God through the community here. She doesn't feel judged. And some other people have also reached out, like, I was with someone, please maybe don't include that. But I was talking with someone the other day and he was like, I'm struggling with something. I'm just praying if I could still find courage like your wife to open up. And I was like, just take it one step at a time. Just keep showing up. Allow people, don't isolate yourself, and then surrender. It will happen. And it's not always like the way you think it will just happen. For me, that's the power of community that I can only say I appreciate.
There's a certain freedom that comes with sharing your story, whether on a public platform or just to another individual. There's a liberation that happens when you're able to say, I'm struggling and I need assistance with this or that. So my biggest piece of advice would be talk to God and talk to people in the church. When I was going through this addiction, I blew through the business finances. I lost our cars. We had to move out of the house into a flat. As a result, the poor decision makings that, on my part. And for many years, I hid what was happening from my husband. He had no idea. It is only on the day that the car was taken and I had no choice because I'm going to come home on foot that I told him what was happening. And I remember the day I made that phone call and I was crying and I couldn't speak. And he said to me, just breathe, tell me what's happening. They took the car. I was owing someone a lot of money and his words were, come home, get an Uber, come home. And when I came home, we didn't speak about what I had done. He first just wanted me to be okay. So really special guy. I was very, very blessed. I said to you earlier, I don't know if I had been married to anyone else, if things would have ended the way that they did, with the way I wrecked basically my family with my addiction. Yet my husband stood by me 100% through this entire journey. I still remember the days where I went into depression and he would be the one that would pray every single night. I couldn't pray. I didn't know what to say. I mean, you've lost the house. We're having to move to a flat where there's a lot going on. And he just stood there and said, we're in this thing together and we're going to get through it. Helped me pay off the debt. And today, thank God, I'm debt free.
I remember in church, one of those times where I come and someone spoke to me and I won't forget what he said. I tried to share part of what I was dealing with at the time. And then he said to me, God gave you that wife because he knew you would be the only person that could stalk or stay with her throughout. He said, just keep going. When you're tired, ask her for grace. So every time I wouldn't say I wasn't frustrated, like your car is gone, car's gone. I would feel that bad. But I always ask God, I knew marriage is a covenant. I wouldn't break on my own part. So I just had to keep weathering on and keep praying. Today I'm glad for the freedom. I'm just glad that today we can talk about God and godly principles